What's up, guys? Don Russo from Freeway Music. Today we're going to learn the first solo in Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. If you like this, please make sure you comment, subscribe, like. It really helps us a lot. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's jump into the solo. Okay, the first note is going to be on the 14th fret of the high E string, but we're going to go into it with a rake. If you're not familiar with a rake, essentially what you're doing is you're muting the strings going into the note, and it kind of adds like this, almost like you're ripping into the note. You can do it a couple ways. You can use your right hand to make this sound. You can use your left hand. But the problem if you use just your left hand, especially here, you might get some harmonics. So I usually do both. Like I'll have my fingers here kind of killing the strings, and then my hand over here as well, kind of chilling on the strings as well. So I'm going to play through the D, G, and B string, and then hit the high E. So cool. And in this, David Gilmour, he uses a trim arm, you know, to do a lot of like tremolo stuff. I don't use one, and this is my bridge is fixed here, so I could grab it, but it's kind of ridiculous. So I'm going to be doing all the tremolo and vibrato in my left hand, which you can as well if you're not used to using a trim arm. But if you like using a trim arm, whenever you see on the tabs the big squiggly lines, you can either use your left hand to make that, or you can use your trim arm to do that as well. All right, so I'm gonna go. The next piece is gonna be a half step bend here, but before we do it, there's like a little muted note. So you got, and that's up to you. You can add that in there if you want to. It's just a little bit of flavor. David Gilmour uses a lot of bends and he uses a lot of like ghost notes. That's what's his little ghost note there. And then we're gonna go, so that's just a half step bend. So I'm gonna be bending from 14 to 15 back to 14, or F sharp to G back to F sharp like this. Then I'm gonna go right into the 15th fret of the B string and do a full step bend. Then it dies at the very end, it kind of comes back down. It's a bend release, but the bend holds and then releases back down. So then you're gonna go 15, 14, 14, 14, 14. This is kind of awkward fingering wise. This is gonna be B string, B string, B string, then 14, G, 14, D. You're basically tracing like an A chord, an octave higher. Now, again, you can use this is what I do. I go ring, middle, middle, first, first. That's the most comfortable for me. Sometimes you could use one finger like that. But I go ring, middle, middle, first, first. Then it slides back to the 12th fret right from that. And before that, there's just a little bit of vibrato. Again, you can do that with your left hand, or if you get the trim arm, you can do that. Then it has another ghost note, and then a rake, leading back into another half step bend on the 14th fret of the high E string. So then we got another 15th fret bend release on the B string. This time we're gonna pull off 15 to 14. We're gonna go down that A chord again. So 14 G, 14 D, slide down to the 12th fret. So then we go from 12, we go 11, 9, 7. And this is gonna be triplets. So, you know, you're doing basically triplets. You're breaking it into triplets like this. Triplet, triplet. So check it out. Cool, and if you don't know what triplets are, essentially it's when you break something which is normally an even time into 3 pieces. Like if I were to break one beat into 3 pieces, that'd be a triplet, or if I were to break one half note into 3 pieces, that would be a triplet. We'll learn more about that later. So this is a triplet. And this is a pretty tricky bend here. We're gonna bend this one 1.5 steps. So this is the 9th fret of the G string, and I'm gonna be bending it up to this G, which is the 12th fret of the G string. So you can, to practice, you can play this note on the 9th fret, play it on the 12th fret, and you'll probably have to tune, like I might already be out of tune right now. I don't know, we'll see. And then after this, it goes up to the 11th fret of the G string, And in the recording, it sounds like he doesn't slide to it. He just goes 11, 9, 7. But I've seen him in live where he slides up to this. He goes, so you can slide to it or not, up to you. And then there's some vibrato back here on the 7th fret. So it's 11, 9, 7. Then I'm going to pull off 11 to 9 on the G string. And then 9 with some vibrato. Then it slides to 7 and then you play 7. So let me play this. One more time. Cool, and then there's this like little pentatonic pull off, like it's pretty quick pull off thing here. Let's talk about all that. So this is going to be pulling off 9 to 7 on the G string, D string, 9th fret, 7 G string, 9th fret, G string, 11th fret, G string, then a half step bend. Now he does hold this a little bit, and he bends this on the downbeat, okay? So be careful, so like that, so all this whole section. See how I bend on the downbeat like that? And then we have another ghost note and rake, another David Gilmour staple. Then we're gonna do a pull off from the 15th fret to the 14th fret. So we're gonna rake in that down to the 12th fret of the high E string. So I'm pulling this off and then just playing the 12th fret there. So then a pull off 15 to 12 on the B, then 12th fret G. I probably would set that up a little better, like, so this is gonna be called a finger roll right here. I'm gonna lay my finger, but here's how I set it up. I would put my fingertip on the G string of the 3rd fret. Sorry. Put my finger on the 12th fret of the G string on the fingertip like this, and then flatten my knuckle in like that. This is the position I recommend putting your finger in. So you can go, see, I'm already set up to just roll right to my finger. And I'm not moving my hand or my finger, I'm just literally popping my knuckle out right there. See that? That's called a finger roll. So then I have to pick it up to get to the 12th fret of the D string, okay? So, cool. And then we're gonna go down here to the 10th fret of the D string and slide down to the 9th fret. And then a quick 9-7, 10-9-7. So this will be my first finger. Then I use my ring for this part. I'm gonna go 10 to 9, and then pick the 7th fret. So here, I'll play all that again. Or you can go, but that's kind of hard with the first finger. I think you should go ring to first like that. Then it goes into the chorus, and the solo actually continues into the chorus, okay? So on, kind of during beat 4, you're gonna bend the 9th fret of the G string here. Again, 1.5 steps up to 12, here you go. Make sure it's in tune, that wasn't. So just check I can tell I'm a little flat from bending, but that's okay. 9 to 12. And then you pick it again at the peak, like that. And then we're gonna go to the 9th fret, here again and do a full step bend this time. So here, and then you play it again at the peak and dive it down to the 7th fret of the G string. So watch this. Then you come up to the D string on the 7th fret, slide to 9 back and forth, and then play 7. So this whole part again. Again, add that vibrato anytime you have a nice long space. All right, that was the first solo from Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. If you like this video, use your comfortable thumb and press that like button below. Comment, subscribe, and make sure to check out our Patreon. We'll see you in the next video.